G'day mates, today we're going to learn about how to tune your guitar. So there's a lot of different aspects to it, different ways you can do it, so yeah, we're just going to get started here. Yeah, let's do this thing, as they say. Alright, so I'm starting out, I detuned my guitar so that it sounds terrible. So if you got a guitar, well that's really bad. So yeah. Probably your guitar doesn't sound this bad, hopefully, but you know, you might just pick up a guitar and be like, man, that sounds terrible. So first we're going to learn the ways to tune a guitar without like electronics or anything like that. So we're just going to do it a couple different ways. So first of all, the way that a guitar is tuned, standard tuning that is, because there are different kinds of tunings, is don't even want to play the notes along with it because they sound so bad, but E, A, D, G, B, E, going up this direction. And again, to be noted, I think I pointed this out in the last video, but if you tune them too much higher than that, they will snap. That happens. It's the way science works. I found it out the hard way. So, yeah, don't do that. So if you're not using any tuners or anything like that at all, you can tune the guitar to itself if you don't have any other instruments, but you might not know. It might not be exactly like tuned to E and above, but I can teach you how to just tune it to itself so that it sounds good in and of itself. But then if you have like a piano around you or something like that, you can tune, you know, relative to that. So I'm just going to start with an actual E though, just for, you know, reference. Okay, so here we go. We got an E. Alright, I've got a tuner on the guitar, which is nice and handy. So I got an E here, and then you're like, man, this next one's an A. What do I do about that? So the first way we're going to do it is using frets. For all of the strings except for the G and B combination, you can get to the next note up by playing the 5th fret. Here, I'll move up a little bit. The 5th fret of the string below it. So like, hopefully that made sense. But so like this string down here, bam, E string. And that's an A, which this one is also going to be an A. So you can just like, you know, if you want to do it without hand, you can, so that you're still playing it, or just kind of get the reference. You know, you can go between the two. That's a way to do it as well. And what I've seen done a lot too, and I do sometimes, is to tune the string down and then tune it back up until it meets the note well. So like, so now we've got an E and an A. They're both relatively in tune. Sound pretty good together. And then it doesn't sound so good. So now I can tune this. See, I'll tune it down a little bit. So it's way off. Now they sound good. So, but if you're kind of close already, it's sometimes hard to get it to where it sounds exactly right. So I guess the idea of you tune it down a bunch, so then you can tune it back up, and just kind of, you can even kind of hear, if you're listening to it closely, like the harmonics of it, it's like wah, 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 wah. Great. So yeah, we'll keep doing it this way. So again, 5th fret between these guys and those guys, this one as well, and so that one also is off. Cool. Sound good? Alright. And then this one's the only one that's different for doing it this way. Okay, well the B is kind of not too far off already, but it's on the 4th fret instead of the 5th fret. See, all the other ones are down here? That one's different. That's the other way. I typically do it like that. I don't really like reaching over like this, so I'll just like play. Alright, sound pretty good. So that one's also the 5th fret. So that's one way to do it. And it works pretty well, typically. So a different way, and you might not know how to do harmonics yet, but this is another way that you can do it that's useful. So I'll Sounds bad again. Okay, cool. Let me make sure the E is still on. Alright, E is still relatively on. Alright, so now, I haven't put it up yet, but I recorded a harmonics video, and I'll put that up in a little bit. And it shows you how to play harmonics. But essentially, briefly, you kind of hover your finger above the string, so you're not pressing down on it like that. I don't know if you can see, but it's sort of being just like hovered above it like that. And you still pluck it like that. And so all we're going to use is the 5th and 7th fret bars, so you can't see the dots on mine, but this is, so like 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, and then this bar above the 5th fret and above the 7th fret. These guys right there, those are supposed to be the same. I'm out of tune, so it's not going to be right now. So you can play this guy. It's the same deal. And then the only exception again is the B string, because it's a major 3rd between these 3 instead of being a 4th. Everything else is a 4th like that. Or 4th. And that's a major 3rd. So you still need to, use that whole deal. And I think this is especially useful if you are tuning with distortion on at any point. It's a little easier to do it this way, because when it's, I don't know, and maybe this isn't true, maybe it's just I feel this way, but if they're having to do distortion on, which isn't probably the best, probably turn off distortion, then tune, turn it back on. But if you are, these are higher notes, so they have different harmonics than lower notes do, and I don't know, it's just, you can tell they sound more unison than those guys will when it's down so far. Okay, so those are 2 different ways. So again, number 1, 5th fret, except for that one, the G going to the B, and then 5th and 7th. Alright, cool, we're in tune again. Okay, so a couple more ways. One of these, so I've got 3 different examples of kinds of tuners. You can have onboard tuners like this, which not every guitar has that, but if you do, just press the button like that. See, it's red. Now it's green. Well, you can't really see the green part. You still can't see the green part, but it's there. So you just tune it up and down until it's not red anymore. And then another version is the Snark Tuner. These little guys, they're on your headstock. You kind of clip them on there. You can't see the stuff on there very well, but it's there. Alright, whatever. It's on, it's just the light on mine's kind of dim. And the nice thing about these is if you're especially like playing an electric or whatever, it's picking up the vibrations in the guitar itself, not the note. So if you were using verses, using a chromatic tuner like this, cellular is turned up, whatever words. This guy, if I play a note, there you go. So it's trying to find, it's just, listening to it. So if there's a lot of loud noises going on, then this won't really do anything, because I could play something, but as soon as I'm done playing it, it'll pick up some other thing. Versus the Snark Tuner, if I'm playing an electric guitar or a bass, for example, then I can press it and play it, and if I'm not turned up or anything like that, it'll still feel the vibrations through the guitar, and it'll pick up the note. So yeah, that's pretty helpful. So then, so that's just a bunch of different ways to tune the guitar. Later I'll talk about alternate tunings. And then just the last thing too, I know I kind of tune now by fourths a lot of times, so like I'll just, like if that, because fourths and perfect fifths, just like the harmonics, so that's a fifth and that's a fourth, or more easily seen, that's a fourth, that's a fifth. And the reason is because in the scale it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the root for like power chords and stuff too, and I talk about those in a different video too. Yeah, awesome, legit. So So that's yeah, that's that. So you can tune by fourths as well, and just by stuff sounding good. The only ones that are kind of more iffy are tuning thirds. Is I don't know. Apparently, there's something more about harmonics there that it sounds weirder, or it just doesn't work as well. But you can do it if you want to. So different ways you can do it: with fifths, with harmonics, with an onboard tuner or some other kind of actual tuning device, or by like chords like that. And you know, typically come back to that stuff for reference. And the other thing is, if your guitar isn't a very good guitar, which is entirely possible, if you're watching these videos, you probably, you know, haven't been playing very long, so you might not have a very good guitar. Then it might not be set up super well to where if you're playing in different keys, it'll sound more in tune in a different key depending on how it's tuned. So like, if I'm playing in E, like, maybe once I'm playing in G, some of the notes sound kind of different because, you know, your fret bars aren't perfectly set or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. So just, you know, you can retune based on what key you're in and play like the main chord and be like, okay, that one sounds in tune. Sounds in tune. Okay, cool. But then if you play it in a different key, retune a little bit to make sure that sounds good. Yep, that's it. Now you've tuned your guitar. And you can use the tuner I'm using here is called Piano Tuner, I think. Like piano, but without the I. And then also online, there's different places that'll show, you know, remind you what standard tuning is or whatever if you need it. But it's E, A, D, G, B, E. Like Edgar 8, Dog, George, but Eden. That's how you can remember it. With that really bad mnemonic device. Great. Alright. Peace. Have a good afternoon. Or other time of your day. Whatever. Just do it. Yeah. Bye.
The dog walked to the park. He wanted 3 pina coladas, but the man said, no, you can only have 1. It was a sad day for the dog.